Hey, it's time for TV Skywriter. Greetings, everybody, and welcome to TV Skywriter. I'm Pat Murray, your host. I publish the Durham Skywriter, that's Durham, North Carolina's online community paper, and I have two very special guests from here in Durham, in fact, Durham Parks and Recreation. So let us welcome Cynthia Booth. She is the Senior Public Affairs Specialist, and Kristen Randall, the Recreation Coordinator at DPR, Durham Parks and Recreation. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Very happy to have you here. Now, we all know about Disable the Label here in Durham, but I thought that maybe I'd have you to talk about it. So what is Disable the Label? I know it's gone through many name changes, so just tell us what that's all about.
So basically, October is Disability Awareness Month, and we started an annual vendor event here at Parks and Rec that celebrates people with disabilities. It also is an event that brings vendors together where families in the community who have children or maybe work with an adult with disabilities can come out and walk around and visit the tables and get information that can help further their son or daughters or clients' education, or maybe it's healthcare or whatever it might be that child particularly needs.
Awesome. And I do want to point out that you want people to roll around as well.
Yeah, anybody is welcome.
Yes. What's the term? ADA compatible, accessible.
Okay. Yeah.
So the reason for Disable the Label, you did explain that, but I did want to point out, now I went to a school for kids with disabilities back in Chicago, and I noticed the biggest problem, and tell me if I'm wrong, the biggest problem is having confidence and letting your child leave the house for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, I personally am a parent myself, but I don't have a child with disabilities. But in being in the field for as long as I have been and working with these families, I think there is a fear of allowing your child to try to participate in something. We always encourage here at DPR, our programs are inclusive. And so we really try to encourage families to just come out and give it a try. And so this is a great opportunity for families to come with their children. They're always welcome to really get some great information and be able to take that back, discuss it as a family, and hopefully they can use those services.
And Pat, I do want to point out that while this event is for families with who have family members with special needs, we do encourage the community to come out, because it's very important that we all are aware of the of persons with special needs, and we're educating ourselves on some of the challenges that they may face, and some of the resources that are available, because you may not have a child with special needs, but your neighbor may have one, or your family member may have one, as do I and my family. So it's very important that we use this as an education tool as well.
That's a good point, because sometimes kids are sort of afraid of children with disabilities, afraid of hurting them, or not being able to figure out how to accommodate them in playtime. So that's a very good point, because growing up in the 60s, when I was going to Jane Neal School, the school I just mentioned, it was common for kids with disabilities to just pretty much spend their childhood, besides going to school, of course, looking out the window.
Segregated.
So, in fact, Neil, we were very segregated as well. We weren't allowed to. The only time that we were able to mix with the kids with disabilities was special clubs like math club, and that was it.
Right. And that's one thing we want to do. We want to foster better relationships and a better understanding, because once you understand something, then it's easy to be more sensitive to some of the challenges that someone may face.
Right. So Disable the Label, when and where is it?
So it is on October 19th at the Lion Park Community Center, which is at 1309 Halley Street in Durham. It's in the auditorium, and we're expecting anywhere from 12 to 15 vendors.
All right.
And we plan to have some entertainment. So we have a gentleman coming who is visually impaired who will be playing piano, and we have the silver dancers who performed last year with us, and DJ Pitty Pat.
Oh, that's great. Absolutely. And there is a big ramp, right?
Yes.
The Halley Street entrance has a nice sized, easily accessible ramp to roll right up there. The door, you just push the button, the door opens for you. So yeah, so don't feel nervous. Just come on to Lion Park to enjoy this event.
That's right.
So what goes into putting an event like this together?
So it's a lot of research to try to connect with all the agencies in Durham. Because I've been fortunate to be in my position for a long time, I've been able to have a Rolodex of all these individuals. And so I've been able to reach back out to them and send out our invitation to be a vendor. And then there are agencies that are now popping up that are brand new, that because agency that's been with us for a while may know that other agency, and then they forwarded on the information to them. So we have a couple of new vendors that we never reached before, and we're really excited about having them.
Awesome. Do you happen to know the names of some of the vendors?
I do, if you don't mind me putting on my reading glasses.
Sure.
Check it out. I do. Okay, we have the Patterns Behavioral Services, Gigi's Playhouse in Raleigh, GP Agency, the Arc of the Triangle, the Mayor's Committee for Persons with Disabilities, Alliance Behavioral Health, NCCU State Student Accessibility Services, North Carolina Division of Vocational Rehabilitation, the City of Durham's Human Relations Department, of course, us, Durham Parks and Recreation, Durham Public Schools, and First and Families of Durham. Okay,
awesome. Very awesome. So they're all going to be there. So will they all have what? Demonstrations or brochures? Or
yeah, they'll have. Yep, what they'll have is a table full of just information, and obviously individuals that work there that can really give some solid information and answer any questions as they come up. I'm sure they'll have little giveaways, but mainly information about their agencies, and even applications on the spot that they can fill out if they need to.
Okay. Now, I don't know the correct term, but you did mention earlier that with many of the activities at Durham Parks and Recreation, the kids with disabilities can mix in with everybody else. What's that called? Mainstream?
Well, it's called mainstream, but it's called inclusive recreation.
Okay. But I did notice in the schedule, don't you have some special programming as well?
We do. At Parks and Rec, we have a special programs unit. So we are a specialized rec unit off of within DPR. So we run individual programs for kids and adults with disabilities.
Okay, because I noticed here, I'm just going to hold this up so that people can see the Play More. It's online, and then you can pick it up at any of the parks. But I noticed on page 57, Challenger Flag Football.
Yeah, we got a game tonight.
Oh, okay. Okay. And I thought I saw another special class, or Buddy Sports Soccer. That's another one.
Yeah.
And there's a couple more. So, yeah. And also, you're somehow connected with Special Olympics. How does that work with Durham Parks and Recreation?
Yeah, so we are fortunate here at DPR to run the Special Olympics program out of our department. So we have a partnership with the Special Olympics of North Carolina. So we have a Durham chapter here, and we run it right out of Durham Parks and Recreation. So it's been an ongoing partnership.
Because I know there's a whole bunch of different sports, right? So.
And we do encourage people, while they can get a hard copy of our Play More magazine, we do encourage people to go on our website and either download a PDF, or they can go to our actual registration site through our website and search the many activities that we have going on. They can look on our calendar on our website, which, by the way, is dprplaymore.org. And we encourage people to follow us on Facebook and our social media mediums as well. And the way they can reach us on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter is at DPR Playmore. So there's several ways that people can find out the many things that we have available. And we're always looking for ideas also. So if someone has an idea about a neat thing that they can do, they can contact Kristen.
Yeah.
I didn't know you're on Instagram. Okay.
Absolutely. So you need to follow us.
I will. Now, it seems to me that Durham Parks and Recreation is like up to date and current. And I'm wondering, compared to, I don't want to put you on the spot, but sort of generally compared to other parks systems, how do we fare in terms of serving the population of young people or just people in general with disabilities?
I'm going to yield that question to Kristen.
So, I mean, our programs are inclusive. So within our unit, we do have specialized rec. And then, of course, the program, reaches across the city. So anybody with a disability can go into any of our classes and participate. Okay. There's nothing that says that they can unless we get a parent might call and say, I don't think my child can mainstream. Do you have any specialized rec? And then that's where we kind of get a little bit of background. We try to figure out what best fits that child. Maybe it's a swim lesson. We have adaptive swim over at Campus Hills Recreation Center, where it's just geared towards kids with disabilities and teens with disabilities. So if there's families out there that want their children to learn how to swim, we have a program right at Campus Hills Rec Center.
Okay.
Yep. And so what we'll do is we'll just ask that parent, and then we'll see where they can mainstream in. Or we encourage them to come to our specialized rec.
Okay. And then just to reiterate about Disable the Label, October 19th, can you explain the parking situation? Because I know that there is a parking lot across the street, but as far as people with disabilities, do you have any special arrangements, special place to pull in?
Yeah, so right in front of Lion Park, there's a cutout curb. So that will be open for individuals to come in and drop off whatever their mobility is. They can drop off there. And then right across the street is parking, in which an area is accessible. And then you have the whole parking lot itself.
Okay. And then if that's full, you can just park on the street. You can park on, forget the name of the street, just east. I usually park on that street. Whatever that street is, just east of Lion Park. There's plenty of parking spaces.
Yes.
Yeah. Around what used to be the teen center.
Yep, it's still the Lion Park Teen Center.
It's still okay. Yeah, so you can park over there. So Cynthia, do you have any special events happening besides Disable the Label coming up?
Absolutely. I want to say we have an event going on every day. It seems like that. We are absolutely always planning some wonderful things for the residents to do. But coming up, we have our pumpkin splash, and that will be held at Edison Johnson Recreation Center. And it's on October 12th. It's for all ages actually. And there is a small city resident fee of $5, a non-city resident fee of $10. It will be from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. And folks can come out, pick a pumpkin from out of the water, decorate it, and have so much fun. Wait
a minute. Out of the water? You mean they have to go in and get it?
Right. Yes. Oh. Yes. They have to go. And so this is very, very important. An adult will need to enter the water with a child that is 9 years of age and younger. Okay. So we want to make sure that we note that and act accordingly with that. And then we also have our Barktoberfest. Before I mention Barktoberfest, I have to mention we have Fright Night, and that will be held also at Edison Johnson on October 18th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And I just heard what the staff have planned, and you do not want to miss this event. It's going to be amazing. And of course, we want everyone to wear their costume and be howling ready to participate in the wonderful activities that we have going on there.
Okay.
And then I'm going to also mention we can't leave our four-legged friends out of the picture. We've got to involve them in our holiday events. We have Barktoberfest. So we want all dogs to come out dressed in their costume as well. That's going to be held on October 26th from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Durham Central Park on 501 Foster Street. Of course, that event is free. They'll have a contest. They'll also have resources there. We always, in our events, we always incorporate vendors, that provide resources to the people that come. So there'll be adoption agencies there. There'll be resources that people can find out information on how to care for their canine friend. And then there'll be some sort of entertainment.
Okay.
So and we are partnering with Beyond Fences with that particular event, and we're excited about it.
And that's the group that puts up the fences for people who don't want to chain their dogs by the neck to a tree so they can run free in the yard. Yeah, okay. And just to mention, I mean, you also have crazy things like pickleball and...
Oh, we have pickleball, which is very popular. And Taekwondo, cooking. We have some wonderful activities going on in our cultural resources department. And then we have outdoor recreation. The lakes are open until mid-November, so you still have time to do a little bit of bass fishing. And you can go out and enjoy the lakes there.
Absolutely. There's just so much. And
there's
again,
so much.
I really encourage you to get your Play More at any of the parks and also City Hall and I've seen it at other places as well. You're really good at getting this out. And of course, online, you said dprplaymore.org.
Right. And then I do want to mention also a tradition that's been held in Durham for many, many, many years, our Halloween event. That is on Halloween Day, Thursday, October 31st from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the West Point on the Eno on 5101 North Roxborough Road. And there'll be hay rides and activities and a whole bunch of fun things to do there as well. But I can't mention everything that we have going on. So we do encourage people really to follow us on Facebook. And you never know, if you attend an event, your picture might be on one of our news feeds. We have an Instagram as well as Twitter.
Thank you for that, Cynthia. And I want to talk with you off camera soon because Durham Parks and Recreation has a really interesting teen programming.
Yes, we do.
And it's really sort of far-reaching. And I want to probably have a separate show on that.
Oh, absolutely, because we really want to grow that program. It's grown. We've been doing it, I want to say 2 years or so. Don't quote me on that one, even though it's recorded. But we have been doing that. We're trying to grow that program, and we want teens to come into our recreation centers from Monday through Friday from 3 to 7. And we have activities planned for them that they're fun activities, but we also have learning activities, so they're able to have fun and learn about different life lessons at the same time, whether it's interviewing or taking a tour of colleges or creating beats on the we really are enjoying what the teens are doing there as well.
And just about all of your programming for the teens and also for what you call the mature adults, older folks, seems to be pretty much free, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I like that.
And we pride ourselves on that because we don't want anyone to be turned away because of lack of resources. So we do try to make everything affordable for people to participate.
And it is greatly appreciated. So again, let's invite everyone to come out to disable the label. That's going to be at Lion Park, 1309 Halley Street.
Mhm.
And what was the time again on October 19th, Saturday?
11 to 2.
11 to 2.
Mhm.
So be ready to pick up lots of information, and hopefully there's going to be some kind of demos as well, because I know in past events there were a couple of demos so that kids could try their hands at like, what was that called, beep ball and
Yeah.
type of things. Yeah, that was
Mhm.
always fun. So
What
thank
I enjoy most of all too is the performance, especially from those that participate in our programs, is very awesome. So wonderful thing to see.
Well, I can't wait, and I will definitely be there for sure.
All right.
I hope to see both of you there. So
I'll be there.
Absolutely.
okay. Thanks again, Cynthia Booth and Kristen Randall, for being on TV Skywriter. And folks, you know what to do. Be sure to follow Durham Parks and Recreation on Instagram and Facebook. Get Playmore at dprplaymore.org. And also follow Durham Skywriter on Facebook while you're at it. And I'm going to learn how to use Instagram one of these days. But be sure to read the Durham Skywriter at durhamskywriter.com. With that, have a beautiful day. And I'll see you real soon here on Get Vocal and also YouTube. Ciao for now.
Thank you.
Thank you.